Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all age. We know that Electronic Arts and BioWare have been kind of having their issues over the last few years for quite a while. I mean, EA and some of the stuff that they produce these days and some of the things that they kind of are definitely gone from the EA that we all knew and loved so very long ago. And boys and girls, Dragon Age is a franchise that has been dormant for over a decade, I think, at this point. And honestly, the games were a lot of fun back in the day if you really liked a good quality RPG where you could go around and kind of do all that kind of stuff, live your own little fantasy world. And the storyline was very compelling. There weren't games that I got a chance to play too terribly much, but they were things that a lot of enjoyed. And of course, a lot of my friends enjoyed them. And I'd been hearing about this stuff for quite a while. And at the end of the day, boys and girls, one of the things that we like to do on this channel, probably more than anything else, is highlight the customer's opinion, highlight the fans' opinion, because at the end of the day, those are the people that are the most important. And if we weren't already worried about Dragon Age the Veilguard, essentially from its very outset, because we knew the creative director was all about the agenda, all about the woke LGBTQ push for everything, and now we've already got it confirmed that within this game, every single character will be polyamorous and will be able to sleep and have a relationship with absolutely everybody. Well, boys and girls, I think we can probably already get a good idea about what this game will be all about, and I bet they concentrated a little bit more on their agenda than a lot of the storytelling. And ladies and gentlemen, we got a trailer that just came out not too long ago. Now, we also got gameplay footage, which we're actually hearing some overall positive things about. But the initial trailer to announce this game is not sitting very well with the Dragon Age fans, ladies and gentlemen, leaving it to being ratioed into absolute oblivion. Now, the real question is, why are the fans so upset? What issues do they have with this trailer? Why are they calling it out? And exactly how bad is the ratio? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what we're going to get into, because check this out from our dear sweet friends over at Bounding Into Comics. BioWare and Electronic Arts revealed disastrous first look at Dragon Age the Veilguard. Official upload of debut teaser currently at 192,000 dislikes and counting. Now, obviously, boys and girls, this article was written at a very specific time, so we will be pulling up the YouTube video here shortly, revealing exactly how bad things have gotten since this article was written. But needless to say, this is a disastrous dumpster fire going forward and does not bode well in a current age for the video game industry, where any kind of slight hint that things are not going to go the way the fans expected, or you're trying to diverge from the traditional versions of what these games have always been, well, needless to say, the fans react quite quickly, because guess what? We're far beyond once burned, twice shy at this point. And any kind of video game disasters at this point can be the end of a lot of these studios out there, i.e. rumors we're hearing about what's going on over at Warner Brothers game with Rocksteady, or how about the disastrous dumpster fire that was the reboot of the Saints Row franchise? Yeah. Bye-bye, studios. So, could this end up being the end for BioWare and EA? No, they're probably too big, but could this disastrously damage their brand going forward, and especially the Dragon Age? Absolutely. So we're going to get all the juicy details of this article, see exactly what is going on and what the fans are saying and why they are so upset over this. But before we do, if you're watching live or if you're watching this on the video, make sure you hit this like button, subscribe and or follow if you have not already, and leave us a comment either in the chat or down below what you think about all of this, and if you're going to be interested in this game in any way, shape, or form, or if you're going to be the smart gamer and at this point wait and let all of us idiots out there try it for you and see how bad it's going to get. So from Spencer Bakuli, in a move so characteristic of the embattled video game studio that it almost feels like parody, after years of fan anticipation and promises of development progress, BioWare chose to reveal Dragon Age the Veilguard to the world with perhaps one of the most off-key video game trailers perhaps of all time. So if you haven't already gone out in there and watched it, I highly recommend it. We're not going to watch the whole thing right now. It's over 2 minutes long, but we'll get into all of the details of exactly why everybody feels it's so off-putting. Released to the public on June 9th, as part of the 2024 Summer Games Fest Xbox Showcase, the first trailer for the formerly titled Dragon Age Dreadwolf, well, let's just say it echoes the worst elements of the 2016 Suicide Squad film. Expecting a glimpse of something that looked at least remotely like a deep character-driven RPG with intricate dialogue options, players were instead met with a montage of a game's roster's quick-equipping heroes, each introduced with a stylized in-your-face title card revealing both their names and their general job title, as well as over a minor key cover of the late David Bowie's 1977 single Heroes. I mean, literally, it felt just like seeing something newly released, like the Fortnite games when they're introducing a new Fortnite character or any kind of major, like, just battle royale, is exactly what it felt like. Actually, you know who probably did it first that I can remember of? Borderlands. It literally felt like a Borderlands trailer where you're highlighting all of the different characters and what they do and their brief glimpse of their backstories. That's exactly what it felt like. And for a lot of major RPG fans out there, I can understand why this would be a bit off-putting, because it literally feels like it's going to just be another generic battle royale like everything else we see released from a lot of these major studios these days. Watch, they end up having online services. These personality shots then ultimately culminate in a brief cinematic wherein the aforementioned heroes, Harding the Scout, Nev the Detective, Emmerich the Necromancer, Tosh the Dragon Hunter, Davran the Warden, Balara the Veil Jumper, and Lucarian the Mage Killer can be seen fighting back-to-back and showcasing their own individual abilities against an approaching horde of Darkspawn. To the surprise of anyone with even the slightest marketing sense, rather than excite players for the next Dragon Age entry, the trailer was so bizarrely slapped together that most walked away believing that BioWare and Electronic Arts had ultimately turned the game into yet another multiplayer hero shooter. And honestly, it feels like they literally hired the exact same studios that do the trailers for Fortnite and Borderlands and all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, it might work for those kind of games, but for something like Dragon Age, that is simply not going to pass the muster. And obviously, it's not passing the sniff test with the fans. So much so, in fact, as of this article's writing, the official Dragon Age YouTube channel's upload of the Veilguard teaser presently is at 35,000 to 192,000 dislikes, as revealed courtesy of the Return the Dislike using extension from Mozilla Firefox. And let's see if we can get right here to the original YouTube version. So we've obviously got the exact same little extra additive. Now, as you can see right here, it is now currently way beyond that at 232,000 dislikes to only 40,000 upvotes, boys and girls. That is ratioed to absolute hell and back. That is abysmal, boys and girls. Unsurprisingly, the other major uploads of the trailer aren't faring any better than their official counterpart. On the official Xbox count, the Veilguard trailer holds 2,900 to 20,000 dislikes. GameSpot's trailer, 550 likes to 4,000 dislikes. Meanwhile, the upload to the site GameSpot trailer's channel holds 51 likes to 343 dislikes. Bizarrely, all of this backlash, disappointment, and probable hits to the game's potential sales could have been avoided had someone at BioWare just read the proverbial room and recognized their audience. Case in point, ahead of the Veilguard's official gameplay reveal on June 11th, BioWare released a 24-second gameplay clip wherein the player character Rook and his companion Varric can be seen in a third-person view walking and talking through the streets of cities of Minareth. And rather than a cheap Overwatch clone, it actually looks like a Dragon Age game. Obviously, what people were actually expecting, right? You literally see this is the kind of thing you would want to see and expect from a gameplay trailer like Dragon Age, except that's not what we got, because this actually feels like it's in-game stuff that you would see. This is how you expect an RPG like this to actually interact. So, of course, they weren't happy with that. Ultimately, players can see the full extent of just how bad BioWare and EA fumbled the Veilguard marketing when its gameplay goes live tomorrow, which, like I said, I've had good things about that. Regardless of how it turns out, there admittedly exists a chance that the results are good rather than disastrous. The reveal of the Dragon Age Veilguard will forever remain in the history books as an example of objectively bad marketing move, and there's no undeniable fact of that in any way, shape, or form. What did surprise me in this article is they didn't have any of the comments in here. What are we, some kind of Dragon Age Suicide Squad? For a Dragon Age game where the entire world is on the brink of destruction and the stakes have never been higher, it certainly looks like everyone is having fun. That status update says trailer for the game lacks everything we loved about Dragon Age. The real reason why YouTube removed dislikes. To quote The Rock, it's the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen. So let's just tear down the veil. The most shocking thing about the trailer was that BioWare left the comments open. BioWare, please sell Mass Effect and Dragon Age to someone who actually loves the game. So needless to say, the fans are not happy. And in an era right now where even the slightest thing that the fans smell about something being off, whether it be your literal head of video game studio development over this one being LGBTQ advocate to the nines, which generally tells us everything we need to know about a game before it comes out, or the fact that you put out a trailer that felt more like something out of a Borderlands game than it does out of a proper Dragon Age RPG. I have no idea, but at the end of the day, this could end up spelling disastrous dumpster fire for the sales. Now, what's probably going to end up happening? I guarantee you the pre-orders are probably going to be in the toilet for this. A lot of people buying this game the right away are going to end up being the hardcore fans or the ones that want to review it and put it out there and play it for display for all of you out there to see if the game's actually worth looking into. I'd imagine unless this game ends up getting excellent scores from the audience and from the reviewers, not the shills out there, this game could end up being a disastrous dumpster fire, much like Suicide Squad the Justice League was, much like the relaunch of the Saints Row reboot was as well. Hopefully, this is all just really bad marketing and the game ends up being really good. I hope that for all of the Dragon Age fans out there, as a gamer myself, I hope it's a good quality game. But at the end of the day, bad marketing can actually ruin something. And in a very, very way beyond twice burned fan base out there, it's something that you need to be much more cautious about. So I don't know. The Dragon Age game might end up being good. It might end up being a disastrous dumpster fire, but as of right now, it looks like they're concentrating on all of the wrong things. And if that's the case, it looks like we might end up with just another buggy mess of a video game, of a franchise that was once amazing and fan-loved, that the modern culture and the modern era have absolutely ruined.